I had no idea that history was being made. I was just tired of giving in. Rosa Parks' defiance on December 1, 1955, when she refused to surrender her seat on a Montgomery bus, became a catalyst for change in America. Montgomery, Alabama, was steeped in segregation, where African Americans faced daily humiliation and oppression under Jim Crow laws. Public transport was a microcosm of this division, with buses segregated and African Americans relegated to the back. The air in Montgomery was thick with tension, echoing the desire for justice. Rosa Parks, born in 1913, was steeped in the teachings of her mother, who instilled a sense of pride and commitment to equality. This foundation led her to work tirelessly as a secretary for the NAACP, fighting against the injustices she witnessed. On that fateful day, seated in the front row of the colored section, Parks could no longer bear the weight of oppression. When the bus driver demanded she give up her seat for a white passenger, she replied, "No," embodying resistance against a broken system. Her arrest sparked outrage in the community. News spread quickly, igniting a collective fire among African Americans in Montgomery. Leaders gathered, determined to respond to this injustice. Thus began the Montgomery Bus Boycott, a turning point of epic proportions. The boycott would last 381 days, a monumental struggle where African Americans walked miles in organized carpools, converting the bus system into a battleground for equality. Parks had ignited a movement that would shape history. With the boycott underway, the Montgomery Improvement Association emerged, led by Martin Luther King Jr. His eloquence and belief in nonviolent protest tapped into the community's anger and frustration. On December 5, 1955, over 3,000 people gathered at Holt Street Baptist Church to strategize. In that packed hall, voices rang out with purpose, united in their resolve to resist oppression. They resolved to stay off the buses, making a profound statement against the oppressive system. The boycott faced significant challenges. African Americans endured hardship as they navigated daily life without the bus system, but their resolve only strengthened. Each step echoed through the streets, a testament to their commitment. The cold morning air felt electric with purpose as men and women walked to work, each footfall pounding against the pavement with defiance. As the months passed, white citizens retaliated with threats and violence. Vandalism of homes, bomb threats, and intimidation loomed over those who dared to stand against the status quo. Yet, the determination of the boycotters grew. They became a collective force, united in purpose. As they walked, the community transformed. Neighbors who had once been strangers became allies, sharing rides and meals, fortifying their bonds. The cramped living rooms of Montgomery filled with discussion, strategy, and determination. On those cold nights, they gathered to hear King speak, his voice resonating with the heartbeat of the movement. "We must meet hate with love," he urged, instilling hope even in the face of despair. In May 1956, a pivotal moment arrived when a district court ruled segregation on Montgomery buses unconstitutional. It was a legal victory that resonated deeply within the hearts of the boycotters, lifting their spirits after months of anguish. But this ruling came as a double-edged sword. It validated their struggle, yet the reality of their daily lives remained harsh. The oppression was relentless. Months of boycotting transformed lives. Some were forced from their jobs, while others faced harassment and violence. The fight for justice was never easy, but the flame of hope burned brightly in each heart. As the boycott neared its one-year mark, families faced job losses and sacrifices. Food became scarce for some, as the struggle to sustain livelihoods escalated. Yet, the walking and carpooling became symbols of dignity amid dehumanization. They found strength in numbers, transforming mundane tasks into acts of resistance. On December 20, 1956, after 381 days, Montgomery's buses were desegregated. Jubilation filled the air as people gathered, a sea of smiles and tears, as they celebrated their hard-won victory. The air crackled with triumph, but the journey toward true equality had just begun. Parks became a symbol of the civil rights struggle, and her act of defiance inspired countless others. The Montgomery bus boycott was more than a protest. It epitomized the unity and enduring spirit of resilience. It was born from the courage of individuals like Parks, nurtured by leaders such as King, and fueled by a community that refused to be silenced. Their struggle echoed through the ages, reminding us that every act of defiance can ignite profound change. For Martin Luther King Jr., the boycott crystallized his resolve as a leader. He recognized a profound moral battle against systemic injustice. Standing at the pulpit of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, he delivered an electrifying speech that reverberated with the pain and hope of the community. King spoke of dignity and justice, invoking a vision of a world where righteousness flowed like a mighty stream. As he articulated these dreams, he often reflected on the words of the spirituals that had nurtured his soul since childhood, reminding his audience of their shared history and their unquenchable spirit. Pictures of the congregation lit by candlelight come to mind, their faces illuminated with hope, determination, and an unyielding belief in their cause. His words resonated deeply, marking the birth of a movement. The boycott transformed a local protest into a watershed moment in American history. King faced intimidation, yet each challenge deepened their resolve. The FBI monitored him, attempting to undermine his leadership, while local authorities targeted him with threats of violence. This was the dawn of a civil rights revolution. King evolved from preacher to symbol of resistance, leading marches and inspiring individuals to join the fight for equality. He became a voice for those who felt silenced, embodying the cries for justice that surged across the nation. In the summer of 1956, as the heat of the Southern sun beat down, King and other leaders organized mass meetings where they discussed strategy and rallied support. The atmosphere was electric, each meeting a crucible of ideas, determination, and the shared pain of oppression. Through the sweat and toil, a vision of unity began to take shape. It wasn't only about buses, it was a profound call for civil rights, justice, and equality for all African Americans. Those evenings were charged with a palpable energy, where the flickering light of candles cast shadows that danced against the walls, echoing the hopes and dreams of the gathered souls. Reflecting on King's legacy reveals a tapestry of courage and hope woven into the fabric of American history. His message transcended legal battles, urging people to confront uncomfortable truths. In a country where systemic oppression had woven itself into the very fabric of society, King's voice became a clarion call. He spoke eloquently against the injustices that haunted the nation, illuminating the path toward a brighter future. He emphasized the importance of nonviolence, often quoting Mahatma Gandhi, urging his followers to discard hatred in favor of love. His ideas of nonviolence still resonate with movements today, challenging each new generation to bring their voices to the forefront. Each protest, each march, became a testament to the struggle for equality, urging the world to reconsider its values. From Montgomery, the movement spread like wildfire, inspiring others to join the fight against oppression in cities across the nation. The Montgomery Bus Boycott was more than a singular event, it served as a catalyst for a broader civil rights movement. It inspired the formation of groups like the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, extending the fight for civil rights to new arenas. Each generation must grapple with the moral imperatives of justice and equality. As we weave through the complexities of our current society, we must consider the trials and tribulations that paved the way for the rights we hold today. King's dream lives on in the hearts of those fighting against oppression, continually reminding us that the fight is far from over. As we navigate our world today, we must honor King's legacy in our actions. Are we willing to confront the injustices around us? Every voice raised against injustice, every act of solidarity echoes his spirit. King's life challenges us to become active participants in the ongoing struggle for justice. The mantle of leadership lies within each of us. We are all called to nurture justice and equality in our communities, for the vision of a brighter tomorrow is worth the struggle.